All right, think about this for a second. Imagine a store so powerful, so successful that people actually pay money just to get inside. Like before you even buy anything, you're already giving them cash. And here's the crazy part. People love it. They line up for it. That's Costco. Now, here's something wild. Their food court sells a hot dog and soda combo for $1.50. And guess what? That price hasn't changed for over 40 years. 40 years. Meanwhile, everything else in the world gets more expensive. Gas, rent, even your morning coffee. But Costco, same hot dog, same price. That's insane. So the question is, how does a store pull that off? How does a business become so trusted, so consistent that millions of people keep coming back again and again? And more importantly, what can we learn from it? Because it's not just about business, man. It's about life. Costco is like a mindset. Today, we're breaking down Costco's secret to success and how you can take those same principles and use them in your own life, your career, your relationships, whatever. If you want to understand what it takes to build something that lasts, this is for you. Let's get into it. You know what's fascinating about Costco? It's not just a store, it's an entire system. Their whole model is built around one simple thing: membership. You can't even shop there unless you pay for a card. Think about that. You're giving them money just for the privilege of spending more money inside. And somehow that works. Why? Because people believe they're getting value that's way bigger than the price of admission. Now, here's the interesting part. Costco doesn't make most of its money from the stuff they sell. Nope. Their biggest profit actually comes from those memberships. Those yearly fees, that's billions of dollars locked in, which means Costco can afford to keep prices lower than everyone else. They don't need to squeeze customers on every product because they already built this trust system, and people keep renewing year after year. That's a huge lesson right there. Play the long game. Costco's not obsessed with making the biggest profit today. They're obsessed with building loyalty for tomorrow. And man, that's life. If you're chasing instant gratification, quick money, shortcuts, cheap thrills, you might win for a moment, but you'll burn out. If you're patient, if you build something real, people and opportunities will keep coming back to you. Another thing Costco does, simplicity. You walk into one of their warehouses and it's not fancy. It's not some designer-looking store with golden shelves. It's concrete floors, tall racks, bright lights. But what do they focus on? Value. High-quality stuff, good prices, and trust. That's it. And again, think about your own life. We spend so much energy trying to make things look impressive. Cars, clothes, social media posts. But real strength, real success is about substance. Keep it simple. Put your energy into the quality of what you do, not the decoration around it. And then there's consistency. Remember that hot dog deal I mentioned? $1.50 since the 1980s. That's not just a cheap meal, that's a signal. It tells customers we're reliable, you can trust us. And trust is the most valuable currency in the world. Translate that to your personal life. Do people trust your word? Do you show up consistently, or are you hot one day and cold the next? Costco proves that consistency builds loyalty, and loyalty builds empires. So when you break it down, Costco's model is really about three things: long-term vision, simplicity, and trust. That's their secret weapon. And it's something every single one of us can apply in business, in relationships, in personal growth. Because at the end of the day, success isn't about flashy moves. It's about building something solid, something people can count on. Here's the thing about Costco. It's not just about selling products. It's about how they think. Their entire mindset is different from most businesses out there. And that's where the real lesson is. Most companies, they're obsessed with squeezing every last drop of profit out of you. They'll mark things up like crazy, charge hidden fees, throw ads in your face every second. But Costco, they flip that script. They say, hey, we'll make less money on each product if it means you keep trusting us long term. That's a complete shift in perspective, and that's a powerful way to live your own life. Because think about it. Are you chasing quick wins, or are you building long-term respect? It's easy to cut corners, to lie a little, to grab what you can in the moment. But if you play the long game, if you build trust and credibility, you'll go so much further. Another thing Costco does brilliantly is focus. They don't try to sell everything. Walk into a regular supermarket, you'll see 20 brands of cereal, 50 brands of chips. Costco, they cut it down. Just a few choices, but the best ones and at the best price. That's their superpower. And man, that applies directly to life. We overload ourselves with options, distractions, endless scrolling, chasing too many goals at once. What if instead you cut out the noise? What if you focused on the few things that really matter? Your health, your craft, your relationships. That laser focus, that Costco mentality, that's how you win. And let's not forget community. Costco makes people feel like they're part of a club. That membership card, it's more than plastic. It makes you feel like you belong to something special. Humans crave that. We want to belong. We want to be part of a tribe. Costco tapped into that psychology perfectly. So here's the takeaway. Find your tribe. Surround yourself with people who share your vision, your energy, your values. When you're part of a strong community, you don't just succeed faster, you succeed stronger because you're not doing it alone. Now, one more thing that blows my mind about Costco, discipline. They refuse to play the short-term hype game. They don't jack up prices during holidays. They don't suddenly chase trends just because everyone else is. They stick to their plan, and that discipline, that's rare. In life, discipline is everything. Anybody can get motivated for a day. Anybody can start a diet, hit the gym once, grind for a week, but can you keep going when it's boring, when it's hard, when no one's watching? That's discipline. That's where success actually comes from. So when I look at Costco, I don't just see I see a mindset, long-term vision, focus, community, and discipline. And if you can take even one of those lessons and apply it to your own life, you're already ahead of most people out there. You know what's crazy? The more you look into Costco, the more you realize they're not just selling stuff, they're teaching a philosophy. And if you pay attention, it's like they're giving you a blueprint for how to succeed at anything. Let's start with value. Costco's whole reputation is built on this idea: give people more than they expect. You walk in, you buy a pack of chicken, and not only is it cheaper, it's usually better quality. That's why customers trust them. They over-deliver. Now think about your own life. How often do you just do the bare minimum at your job, in your relationships, with your goals? Most people stop at good enough, but the people who actually win, the ones who stand out, they give more. They put in the extra effort, they show up earlier, they go a little further. That's how you build trust. That's how you become unforgettable. Be the person who gives value, not just the person who takes. Another thing Costco nails: efficiency. You ever notice how their stores are basically giant warehouses? No fancy decorations, no nonsense. They keep costs down by not wasting money on stuff that doesn't matter, and that's genius. Translate that to life. How much time and energy do you waste on things that don't move you forward? Netflix binges, gossip, pointless scrolling, all that's like the golden chandeliers Costco doesn't buy. Cut that out. Strip away the fluff. Put your resources into the things that actually create progress. And here's one of my favorite parts: Costco creates loyalty by being predictable. When you shop there, you know what you're going to get: quality, value, consistency. That predictability makes people feel safe. Now imagine if you became that kind of person, the kind of friend, partner, or leader who people know they can count on. Not moody, not unreliable, not all over the place, just steady, trustworthy. When people know you're consistent, they'll follow you anywhere. Costco also teaches patience. Sometimes they'll drop a new product and it doesn't instantly blow up, but they give it time. They let customers discover it, test it, spread the word. They're not panicking if sales aren't explosive on day one. They trust the process. How many times do we quit too early? We start something, a new skill, a side hustle, even a fitness goal, and the moment it doesn't blow up, we stop. But Costco's teaching us good things take time. You've got to be patient enough to let growth happen. And finally, Costco proves this: you don't need to be flashy to be legendary. It's not Apple with sleek stores or Nike with giant ads. It's just a warehouse. But the impact, massive. Same goes for us. You don't need 1 million followers, a luxury car, or the flashiest lifestyle to succeed. What you need is substance. You need value, discipline, and consistency. That's what people respect. That's what lasts. So when I see Costco, I don't just see I see a lesson in how to live. Give more than you take. Cut out the fluff. Stay consistent. Be patient and focus on substance over flash. That's how you build something that lasts. You know what blows my mind about Costco? It's not just the business model, not just the prices, it's the culture. The way they treat people, the way they run their organization, that's where the real magic is. And honestly, it's something we can all learn from. Most big corporations, They'll squeeze their workers like lemons. Minimum wage, no benefits, high turnover. But Costco does the opposite. They pay their employees better than most competitors. They give them health care, retirement plans, real benefits. And what happens? Those employees stick around. They actually care about the company. They treat customers better. They work harder, and they feel like part of something. That's leadership right there. Taking care of your people so they take care of the mission, and you can apply that in your own life too. If you're leading a team, if you're running a business, even if you're just the leader of your own family, how you treat people matters. You can't demand loyalty if you don't give loyalty. You can't expect respect if you don't show respect. Here's another crazy stat. Costco's CEO makes way less than most other CEOs of giant companies. We're talking about someone who could easily justify paying himself tens of millions, but instead he keeps his salary relatively modest. Why? Because it sets the tone. It tells everyone in the company, I'm not above you. We're in this together. That humility is rare. And guess what? It earns trust, not just from employees, but from customers too. Now think about how that applies to you. Ego destroys more dreams than failure ever will. If you're walking around acting like you're above everyone, people won't follow you. But if you're humble, if you're willing to roll up your sleeves and do the work, people will respect you. They'll root for. That's leadership 101. Not lording power over people, but inspiring them by example. And let's talk about discipline. Costco refuses to fall for trends. They don't chase every new fad. They're not constantly reinventing themselves for attention. They stick to what works, and they keep refining it. That's so powerful. Because in life, discipline means saying no. It means resisting the urge to follow every shiny distraction. Everyone's chasing the next big thing. Crypto today, AI tomorrow, some new diet the day after. But the truth, long-term success comes from discipline, from picking your path, sticking to it, and doubling down year after year. Costco shows us that boring can be brilliant, as long as it's consistent. Another part of Costco's culture is transparency. They're not trying to trick customers. Their whole vibe is, here's the deal, plain and simple, no gimmicks, no hidden fees, and that honesty builds trust. Now imagine if you lived that way. No masks, no pretending, no fake highlight reel, just realness. People crave authenticity, and when you're authentic, people connect with you on a whole different level. And here's maybe the biggest lesson. Costco plays for decades, not quarters. Most businesses chase the next 3 months of profit. Costco builds strategies that last generations. They're thinking about the long-term survival of the brand. That's why they're not just surviving, they're thriving. What about you? Are you planning your life 3 months at a time, or are you thinking in decades? The gym you skip today, the money you waste today, the opportunity you pass on today, that stuff adds up. Long-term thinking is how you change your entire future. So when I look at Costco's culture and leadership, it's basically a masterclass in life. Take care of people, lead with humility, stay disciplined, be transparent, think long-term. Do those 5 things, and it doesn't matter if you're running a billion-dollar company or just trying to level up your personal life. You're setting yourself up to win. You know, after looking at everything Costco does, the business model, the culture, the mindset, it all comes down to one big truth. Success isn't built on hype, it's built on consistency. And that's something we can all carry into our lives. Think about it. Costco doesn't scream for attention. They're not blasting ads on every billboard or trying to be flashy. They just quietly, consistently deliver value. And because of that, people trust them. Trust is everything. Once you have it, you don't need to chase people. They come to you. That's life, man. Most of us spend way too much time trying to look impressive instead of being impressive. But what if you flip that? What if you just focused on doing the work, showing up every day, keeping your promises? Eventually people will notice. You won't have to scream. Another thing Costco shows us, don't be afraid to be different. Their model was crazy when it first started, charging people just to shop. Who would do that? But they believed in their vision, and they stuck with it. And now it's one of the most successful businesses in the world. So ask yourself, how many times have you held back on an idea because it seemed too weird, too risky, too different? Sometimes being different is exactly what makes you unforgettable. Here's the last big lesson: patience. Costco plays the long game. They're not looking to crush it this quarter. They're looking to thrive for decades. That's why they can keep a hot dog at 1.5D for 40 years. That's why customers trust them. And that's why they've built an empire. If you want to succeed in your own life, whether it's building a career, a business, or even just a healthier body, you need that same patience. Results don't come overnight. You've got to put in the reps, day after day, year after year. That's how you build something real. So here's the deal. Live your life the Costco way. Deliver value, cut out the fluff, stay consistent, build trust, play the long game. Do that, and you don't just get success, you build legacy. Because at the end of the day, the world doesn't need more people chasing shortcuts. It needs people who are willing to show up, do the work, and keep their word. That's what Costco does, and that's what you can do starting right now. So next time you think about success, don't just think about flashy wins or quick profits. Think about Costco. Think about the power of patience, trust, and consistency. That's the secret. That's how you win in life.